day. But that was then and this is now, and he's far gone. And his voice had lingered on for far too long. He said, my fearless son, you can't be stronger than them all. The blades control the sky and if the jump will likely fall. And you need an alibi just to pass by in this life, cause your shield can't protect you from death sight. Oh no. When he left to find himself, I left his spirit and body and soul. I also left my family, literally. Cause if he's not worth anything, then what do I know? I'm just a carbon copy of a damned machine.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect here, live on Thursday evening on this Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com. Well, well, you know, I gotta say a couple things. Well, first things first. For one quick second, I had over 500 Twitter followers, but now I still have 499. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, that's not gonna, you know. Yeah, well, one day I'll finally get over that number, that 500 number. Hey, I got over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Once again, thanks, by the way. And trust me, my 99 review is pretty much on the, it's on the 30, 40. It's like it's rendering right now. I'm editing right now. I'm going to finish this up I'm going to get this all done on Friday, hopefully. And we'll be done there, and I can continue on doing my 1,000 subscriber thank you video. That'll be the next big thing. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to review. I mean, part of me, I don't know what am I going to review after that, but whatever I'm going to do, it will be something interesting. And that's what the one thing I want to do is keep my channel interesting and fun. But speaking of reviews, we have another week passes, and it is week 4 of the WWE Cruiserweight Classic. And I have to say, this week was very fun, and probably some would say my favorite week of the last of the first rounds. This is the final of the first round, and quite honestly, I was really impressed by many of the competitors when I first saw this. Some who I think should win, some who I didn't think was going to win. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a person who types all the numbers and does all the things like that. But I know what I liked, I know I didn't like, and I'm going to. Actually, not only am I going to review this past week, but also I'm going to give you my top best winner, best loser, the best, the most impressive person who lost, and also someone who I think honorable mentions as well, since I saw a thread on the Freaking Awesome Network forums, which, by the way, you should go and join that site. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Okay, plugs aside, let's get into this week's WWE Cruiserweight Classic. Let's see. Let's talk about these things. First things first. Let's take a look at the first match. Rich Swann and Jason Lee. Jason Lee did some impressive moves, but honestly, Rich Swann from the had the crowd tight. I mean, seriously, this man had the crowd in the palm of his hands. He was not the first one who did this tonight, but this was a really dude. He was really, Rich Swann was that dude that night. He had really good charisma, and he just showed through the entire match as just like, he's like, you know what, I am that damn good, and you will, he does remind me a bit like Alex Wright, but actually a lot more soul in him. I wonder if that actually someone has said that to him yet. Yeah, you're like Alex Wright, but you got more soul. Okay. But honestly, he had a very, very fun match with Jason Lee. The two had good chemistry with each other. These two, it was a short match, but it was a really, Jason Lee did some really good-looking kicks, but at the end of the day, Swann did some beautiful, high-flying stuff, including a impressive standing 450 splash. You didn't need a turnbuckle. He didn't need the turbo. He just jumped 1, 2, 450 splash for the uno, dos, tres. I like this match. It was very fun. And I think this guy has really good potential. Hopefully, and he's in NXT, so I'm surprised he's gonna be on Raw's Cruiserweight. Cruiserweight division. Next up is the worst match of the entire. I mean, this was just terrible. Norman Dar versus Gurv Sira. These two guys had no chemistry whatsoever. It was a long, boring, just these two guys did not fit with each other at all. I'm sorry, these two guys did not impress me. Both guys were very sluggish, and they just did not look. I don't know. They just did not vibe with each other the entire night. The fight was, and the match was just very. It's just really disappointing. This is my most disappointing match of not only tonight, but honestly, this is probably my worst match in the entire Cruiserweight Classic so far. It was just terrible. These two guys just did not have any chemistry whatsoever. But in the end, Noam Dar picks up the victory via submission, and the Bollywood Boys is out. They are out. So yeah. Not really sad about that. Next up is Jack Gallagher taking on Fabian Aichner. And you know what? Both these guys were great. I love both of them. Especially Jack Gallagher, because he looks like something right out of the Evolved Villains. Is someone who, Evolved Villains, and we're actually connecting with the crowd now. That sort of thing. He has this whole. His whole, thing is that his character, he's like, this is what I wanted Jack Sabre Jr. to be. I wanted Jack Sabre Jr. to be this. I wanted him to actually have connection with the crowd. I wanted him to have a connection, some type of, connection to the crowd, something that really what people will actually root for and everything else. I was, that sort of thing. That is something what Jack Gallagher has. He's got loads of charisma. And he really had the crowd up on his, with him. And also, Fabian Aichner did as well. Both guys had, I really think they should sign both. I don't know what they are going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with Jack Gallagher. I mean, he's moving on. But, I mean, he is good. I would not be surprised he signs up with the Evolved Villains after all this. If they do sign him up, I think it'll be very good. I think it's going to be, Fabian, I think he should be in that. I mean, shoot. I think he should be on Raw for the Cruiserweight division as well. He could be that dude as well. Fabian Aichner, I think he did a great job here. Both guys did great. The chemistry was great. But in the end, Jack Gallagher wins with just a monster drop kick. My gosh. That's a drop kick. Uno, dos, tres, Gallagher moves on. And then here it is, the main event. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, the two tag teams from NXT. Future tag team, some would say the next tag team champions. And they went out. Ciampa went out. Let me tell you something. Gargano started, trying to get something, but yet it was Ciampa the entire match. Ciampa was just beating him down. And it just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But Ciampa was just legitimately just about to destroy this man. But yet he was about to just hit that knee, but he hesitated. Not multiple times. He hesitated. He didn't want to hurt his friend. And that what killed him. But this match told a story. This match felt like it was raw and emotional, and the action was great. The action, the chemistry, all of it was just on point, and I loved every second of it. As Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling picks up the victory, 1, 2, 3, and Ciampa looks just heartbroken, and he knew that his heart got in the way. He should have gone in for the kill. In fact, it looked like he was about to. But in the end, he couldn't. He hesitated. But yet, Ciampa looks like he was headed out of the ring. But then, He had second thoughts. He went back into the ring. He takes a seat beside his partner and gave him a hug. Just really good. I'm like, part of me's like, this should have been the last match of the whole tournament. I hope I don't feel that way at the end of the tournament. Because that right there is important drama right there. That should have been the end of the whole tournament. I'm serious. That should have been the end of the whole tournament. Right then and there. Johnny Gargano, Ciampa, that should have been it. That would have been the greatest thing out there. Instead, it's just the end of the first round. But I really enjoyed it. But for what it is, it's probably the best match of the tournament. And probably the best match of the entire first round. Yeah. Best match in the first round goes to Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And it's amazing. Ciampa is actually doing things that are in importance and, relevance rather than staying in Ring of Honor where he would have been completely forgotten. Yeah. Thinking you could say a thing for Moose. And not only Moose, but also Cedric Alexander. And, that sort of thing. So, yeah, Ring of Honor is... Yeah, I'll say that. I'll hold that back for another podcast or rant because I'm not liking the direction Ring of Honor is going so far. That's just me. But back to positive things. The WWE Cruiserweight Classic first round is over, and now we will look at the positive, the pros, and the cons of you guys. One of the best. It is one of the best. Honestly, the best competitor right now, who is still in the tournament, is probably TJ Perkins. I think TJ Perkins still is the class. I think Ibushi is going to be, is right there, number 2, but TJ Perkins is the full deal. He is really good, and I think he could give him a whole run. I think it'd be something really good. Honorable mention goes to Ibushi. I think is really good as well. I think he is something that is, his kicks, everything. Dude is really good. And someone like that, I think those two are really good. The best, honestly, Mustafa Ali was the best. Honestly, I think he should have lost. This guy was just so good, and Daivari too. I mean, those guys were really good. Yeah, I wish there. And honestly, Kenneth Johnson. I know some people didn't like him. It's like, he's just like he's wonky. He did some mistakes, but I think he did keep up with. He kept up with him. I was like, man, this dude is going to be something important. Give him. I think he give him at least a couple months. Give him a couple months to work around a bit. I think someone like Lance, someone like a couple months around the someone who's gives some somewhere to go Tozawa, I really I liked him, but I really think Johnson should show some love. I really think he should get. He needs to be a little more improvement, but I think over a year, I think give him a year or two in the Indies. I have to put him in PC. I think he'll be a really solid talent. If not, someone actually could be someone real good. Give him a year or two, and I think it'd be something really good. Let's see. There are so many things really right here. The worst, I would say, the Bennett and the Bollywood the Bollywood guys did not do well for me. I'm like, no way. They're not terrible, but I think they should go away for a while. Learn some stuff, get some better stuff here. I think that's what really is. That's what I feel. But overall, I really was enjoying it. By the way, Daniel Bryan and Marlon Ronaldo on commentary, big thumbs up. I love it. I can't wait for the second round, though. And how they're going to do, they're going to stretch the two matches out. no problem with that. Or they can have, the guys fighting for runners up. I don't know what they're going to do for the second round because they only have 2 matches. So from 4 to 2, that's going to be really interesting, and they're going to really build these things up. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. It's going to be really interesting show for this, and I am very happy with this tournament so far. And here's hoping that these guys don't, if they don't get signed with WWE, someone else signs them. Maybe Ring of Honor, maybe TNA, maybe New Japan, maybe Lucha Underground, someone. So yeah, give them some time. I think someone like I said, give them some time, and they can really do something good. So anyway, Kenneth Johnson and all those guys, some time. I think they'd be really good so far. So yeah, I can't wait to see some really good stuff for round 2. As Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander, I heard some good things for it. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Oh yeah, by the way, Ho Ho Lun. I'm sorry. He just nothing. Yeah. But that's what I say. But that's just my personal opinion. Hopefully he can impress me in the next round. Well, that was a fun thing. But we're not done yet. We're going to talk about a little bit about Finn Balor for the when he's challenging for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. And I'm going to ask you guys the question: should he not only be in this position, but also should he win? I'm going to ask this question. And, I want to see how many people out there will agree, disagree. I want to hear you guys out. If not just in a phone call, but also in the comments at the YouTube, on the Freaking Awesome Network, on the Man Expression. I want to hear you, the people. I want to hear what you have to say about that. We'll be right back. We're going to listen to a little more Mega Man. How's that? Mega Man X series, Magic Rising from OC Remix. So how about we listen to some Towering Revolution from Washudal here, live from the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back, right after this. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, here, live on the Dukect Lounge at TalkShoe.com. Remember, the phone number, if you want to connect to me, Dukect, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. Sorry. And the call ID, connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. And now we get to our main event. Finn Balor, speaking of main eventing, is going to be at SummerSlam. SummerSlam fighting for the new Universal Championship for Monday Night Raw. The question I ask for you people is this. Not only should Finn Balor should be in this match, but does he deserve to win this big, important match so soon in his Raw career? Now, to put it bluntly, in my opinion, he shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. I have no problem with him debuting in the Fatal 4-Ways to decide the part of the it's called champion. But quite honestly, I believe that he should have lost. I think, quite honestly, I would have put Cesaro in his position. Now, hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out. Cesaro has not been doing anything. He feels depressed. He feels like he's not doing much. He's tired of being... You can easily play that role of him being just feeling like he's let himself down. He's let the Cesaro section down. He goes in and he pins Rusev. The first match, yes, he did. He won his shot at later tonight. Roman Reigns wins his match. And he goes to the main event. Now, I would have said the stupid little concept. Here's whatever has Cesaro be like. He's getting ready. And he's like, you know what? No, Roman say, hey, you know what? Good luck, man. Because you're not needed. Because I'm getting back my title. He says, no, you're not. Cesaro's like, no, you're not. I'm not taking second place anymore. I'm not just going to be known for just having a great match. I'm going to be known for the guy who beats the guy. And I will go on and beat Rollins for the Universal Championship. Boom. He goes out there, and it looks like he's, he does things different. Instead of doing the European uppercuts, he starts doing these like suplexes. He does this whole game change. He does most of these strong suplexes and such, and Roman comes close, but in the end, Cesaro beats him, pins him, and with the Gotch neuralizer, and he becomes the new number one contender for the Universal Championship. And he's like, yes, I'm ready. He now knows he can do this, and you can actually say, you know what? I have been doing this for so long. And then after a match of him and Rollins, like, you know what? You're right. I've been, like, Rollins, like, you've always been the same place. It's just we will have the greatest match ever, but in the end, you just keep falling short. You're just there for great matches, and that's it. He says, you're right. I have been doing this for many years, and I have many great matches under my belt, but I have not taken advantage of the opportunity. I have not cashed in. Like you have, Rollins. You cashed in at WrestleMania. You cashed in when you beat Roman Reigns when you came back. You cashed in on those opportunities. Me? I had a great match, but I kept falling short. I kept coming so close, but no more. I am not going to be falling short anymore. I am going to face you at SummerSlam. And I'm going to beat you at SummerSlam. Not just for Cesaro's section, not just for the WWE Universe, but for me. I am tired of being second place. I am going to go for the gold, and I am going to win at SummerSlam. There you go. Have him set up there. You have the same thing. Rollins tried to get up on him. He knocks out Rollins and such. And he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for war. That sort of thing. I know Cesaro's not good for being that type of blunt and angry type of promo, but, I try. Hopefully that didn't, didn't seem out of character for him, but I think it would have made sense with his current character run. I think it would have gone that point of very simplistic, but yeah, he's pissed. He wants to make that next step. You have Cesaro versus Rollins. I don't know if you have him win here, because honestly, I'm tired of the so-called face/heel/Seth Rollins. We already had majority of him on top. So, honestly, have Cesaro actually pick up the victory, have him see a month or 2 months run, see what he can do with it. Let's see what he can do. And actually, he has the credibility. He is someone who was hey, he's been on Raw, he's been on SmackDown, he's been on main events before, and the crowd knows him as that dude. So, it has a lot more credibility than Finn Balor, who may have been successful in IWGP in New Japan, who may have been successful in NXT. But here's the thing. Most people don't watch NXT, even with the network. They use it for a pay-per-view, and that's it. And the thing is, it would basically be too much too soon. I like Finn Balor. I think he's a very good wrestler. He's a bit bland for my taste, but right here is the problem, is that he is getting too much too soon. Even if he loses, you're too damaged. If he debuts to paint the whole demon thing and he loses to Rollins, we're right back with, he goes back to the mid-card, and then what? What do you do with Finn Balor then? You can pop him out for the United States Championship? No, you need to make him important. You need, now the WWE is in this whole, they booked themselves into a corner yet again. If they have him win, you're pushing someone way too fast at the crowd, who I'm sorry, he doesn't. I mean, he does have somewhat of a connection, but I don't think he's going to have enough of a connection to move the needle. I don't think he is going to move the needle. That's why Seth Rollins proven he can't move the needle as well. So you have no guys who can move the needle. I mean, at this point, you may have to put him a sacrifice for Brock Lesnar. He does move the needle a bit, but you need someone right there to really help move the needle in ratings. Seth Rollins can't do that. Dean Ambrose couldn't do that. You need someone to move the needle. You need someone to actually has people to care for. They need someone to actually have, no, the crowd cares for, but has the credibility to come in there and become champion. For be Raw's championship brand. That is what you need to do. Seth Rollins had the shot and he failed. And again, do I have to show the stuff again? Show it. I gotta show it again. If you look at the screen right here on YouTube, my YouTube, find it on YouTube is right here. The Shield year low ratings. I mean, how many times do I have to show this picture of this, of it? Let's see, Seth Rollins 18-year low, Roman Reigns 19-year low, Dean Ambrose 20-year low. How many times? Seth Rollins is not a big star. He's not. It's over for him. They tried and they failed. And Cesaro might be that guy. Might not be that guy. He might not move the needle, but Seth failed. It's over for Seth. And I could be wrong with Finn Balor. The match could be tremendous. But there is legitimately, I worry, because a year from now, what ratings would they be right now? Because I don't think they're going to last the football season. We're going to probably see an average of what Dean Ambrose's ratings will be for 1.8, and they're not going to recover. Because it's been going down seriously, it's been a steady decline. So Raw needs to do something. They need to find someone, a good star, someone who's not, they need to find that guy that can actually move the needle. They need to find a guy who can actually be somewhat of a main eventer, to be that guy, to really to captivate the audience, but not push people away, but bring them in. Seth Rollins can't bring people in. I don't know about Finn Balor, but I don't think he's the solution. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it right now. And I hate to say that. I really do. But if I'm wrong, please point it out to me in the comments below. Anyway, that's my show for this evening. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to let me be in your Walkmans and your CD mans or whatever things you kids use your podcast for. You listen to it on iTunes, my YouTube channel, Man Expression, Freaking Awesome Networks, wherever and whenever. Thank you for listening. Anyway, Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Later.